Hey Marius, nice to meet you.
Hi Nick.
Okay, let's talk today about small wins. How we can document them, how can we recognize them, and how they could be useful for us.
Nice topic.
My name is Nick, and I'm a software developer. Together with Marius, we are running a podcast about different psychological things, about work, about achievements, about upside downs in life, and this is just for fun.
My name is Marius. I'm a designer, and I discuss these topics with Nick from the creative side.
So this recognizing small wins, which I think, or every human oftentimes achieves and doesn't pay attention much. And on different level, you can boost like your mental health with recognizing them,
Yes.
I think. And there could be different setups. You could be very advanced, maybe startupper who achieves a lot of stuff at work during the day, every day, and just takes it for granted. Or you could be a woman on maternity leave without a lot of things, but you still achieve certain things during the day, which are important, which are not trivial. And it's worth to recognize them and to make sure that you feel that you are doing good, you are progressing, you are completing stuff, and so forth.
Totally.
For me, it's important, I think, because I want to feel that I'm actually creating impact. And it's important, especially in the moments, not like on everyday basis, I would say. I would try to retrospectively look at my days, but it's important at the moments when you feel tired, burnout, or upset, or something like this, to have some record to look at, because look how our brain works in that time. When you feel bad, when you feel like tired, burnout, whatever, your brain cannot easily remember these bright and good moments from the past, these achievements you did. And so even if you maybe only the big ones that you really celebrate or something like this you could recap in any state of your mind, I believe. But in general, in being in such a bad mood blocks your brain to extract the information about actually many small wins that you completed yesterday, a week ago, a few weeks ago, throughout the month, and so forth. Maybe because you are at the moment in such a state that I would say more in negative mood, let's say. And therefore, when you are in negative mood, it's hard to change this to a positive and to properly evaluate some achievements from the past that they are actually really cool. And therefore, to overplay the brain, or how you can to hug the brain in these kind of situations when you are in a bad mood, the best is that you have a list, a list of something. It could be a list just with a bullet points list of things that will instantly help your brain to extract information that actually, okay, last week I did this, and this is really cool. I forgot about that, but here I have a list. It could be a list with, I don't know, testimonials, or people maybe wrote to you some good things about your work, about your achievements, about how you help them, in any shape that it should work as an anchor, as a hook to get your brain back to the point that there were these things. So I'm not that bad as I'm thinking now, and I'm feeling now. I'm actually really good, and this just a downhill, mentally. And that's fine, because, everything moves through the waving structure, going up and down, even financial markets. So the same, our moods and brain.
Good point.
It cannot sustain always the upward wave. So when you are on the downside situation, this hook that will help you to get back to the good memories is, I think, like a game saver, for you. So it helps me to quicker realize that actually my life is good, everything is good. It's just that moment that I'm feeling bad, and maybe I need to do some actions to quicker recover. Maybe take time off, or I don't know, go to nature. It depends what fulfills you as a person, but the point is that you need to recognize this. You don't allow your emotion to continue driving your mental state, this bad emotion that you have. And for that, you could have the list. You could have a hook in different shapes that you could always go back and look at it. For me, it's as I said, not every day. Only when I feel like terrible, then fine, I open that page. I could scroll through it. I could see things. I could see my reviews, testimonials, some achievements that I marked myself that are good. And so kind of your credit history, I would say.
Nice term.
In other words. And this is just, I don't know, self-recovery. This is part of self-recovery when you are in bad mood for me. And also, sometimes people, like we are all people, sometimes people will tell you that what you did is bad, you are bad, or you will feel like that. They will take it indirectly, like with maybe some passive aggression or something. And at that moment, you could also quickly open that list and to make sure that you recover your self-confidence, quickly. Like, no, I'm actually good. I'm there, and everything is right. So they are wrong, I'm right. I'm doing good things, and so forth.
Nice strategy.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty advanced way to deal with those situations. Probably everybody has them at some point, private life or at work. And it's rather counterintuitive, like you said, because on the one side, the brain forgets those negative things and kind of focuses on the good. But then if you don't document them, and I think what you mentioned is really nice, that you kind of have this list you can come back to, or something that's been documented. And if those events have been in the past, as you mentioned before, saying, okay, there have been some big events in my life, like my graduation or when I got married, you might always come back to those points. And then the way you experience time or the way you see years passing by, it feels like it's just been a few months, right? But actually it's been 10 years, maybe 20 years. And I think that's where technology is kind of helpful. I mean, right now for me, it's also quite stressful time doing this project. Especially it's a different topic. It's not a digital project, it's a physical project. Different people. You encounter a lot of issues that you couldn't really foresee or that I couldn't foresee. So it feels like, oh, wow, it's been like 6 months, or it's been even like 12 months, 18 months. You've been in this situation, working on this project or in this personal situation. But I think breaking it down, like you mentioned, is so much better, especially in teams working that way. You reflect on those things, you see them. And last week I had this conversation with this person who's a lot into culture at home and at work. It's kind of funny, you mentioned before, like you're onboarding your new child to the family. But I think it's kind of nice, so it's a good way. It's a bit more organized. It's not just happening, but it's more conscious, or you see it in a way that it's organized for you or your culture. It's nice. So I think that's pretty cool. And I tried to work with this. I mean, last 2 weeks have been pretty challenging, I must say. We encountered a lot of things that haven't worked, also why we haven't talked for a while. But taking it to that level, documenting it first of all in the team. So we talked about that. And, 4 years ago, a lot of people worked from home. Now we both sit also in a more home environment. You do in the office, but it feels like my home. And some of our team members have only experienced this situation. So they came from university or they've done some course and then they join a team and they've never seen this culture of working in the office. So the only thing they know is this situation, right? So I found that very interesting. And like you mentioned, coming back to those points or those milestones, rather small ones, is nice, because otherwise it feels like the last 2 years just passed by, but you haven't really done anything positive. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think this documentation doesn't have to be like deep. I just note several things and put some screenshots of some comments of people there, and that's it. Basically, just continuing doing that, and maybe the training also, like for you, is to recognize them also during the day and capture them quickly. So you do some work, let's say, and then suddenly somebody writes you, okay, thank you for fixing this and this helps out for us, because we were blocked by this before, but now you overcome and so on. You just capture that comment and put it in your list,
Nice.
and that's it. And this trains you also to recognize actually that there are many good things happens during the day, and so even if you might not return to this list for long.
Nice. Yeah, it's cool points. The last few weeks I was thinking about this because you kind of see that when you go back in history a few years where we didn't have the tools to document it, like each person, taking a picture is taking so much time. You had to get it developed. Then you have it just on this one frame. Kind of feels very ancient, but still, when we were kids, this was the normal way of taking pictures. So now you're maybe wearing glasses and you can take a video there, or just take your phone, take some pictures. So easy. And how we deal with them, I think that culture is so interesting in that regard, because still you kind of feel like, okay, taking the picture, and now we have so many in our camera roll, and how do we work with those? Or how do we work with all these moments that you list? For me, it's very rare that I sit down like I used to, you had the box of pictures you take a look at with your family. But now it's full of the camera roll pictures. Still, then you get these tools now where they recommend some pictures, or you can create the small videos with events from your family. And applying that to work context or also private space, the way we experience history feels so weird right now, because on the one side, you experience something at the moment, right? And the next day it's history, where if you look at the school book, or you kind of trying to teach history or learn history, it's like this happened in this century, 100 years, or 50 years, or 10 years. And it's, for me, it's still, I'm trying to wrap my head around this because it still feels strange. So, it's like it happened just yesterday, but it feels like history. Or when's the future? Is it already happening now? It's kind of strange. Yeah.
Things are changing very fast these days.
Yeah.
Like crazy. And I think also the value devolved a bit from that, because the amount of information we could capture in the form of pictures, for example, is completely different than you had in your box that you were reviewing.
Yeah. It was like 50 pictures was a lot already, Now it's like 50 pictures. Yeah.
The film was only 36, I think, the max.
Yes. Yeah, right. You could only take a certain amount of pictures. Exactly. It's not unlimited like now. Yeah.
Another interesting point with these small achievements that you will record is also help you in situations when you actually are vulnerable. For example, there are situations for people that they want to ask for a rise for their salary once a year or once in a time. And then when they come to this idea that I won't talk to my manager about this or so, they are like, okay, but what will bake up this, beyond just inflation and so, but what will bake up me with this, that I'm actually creating a significant impact, doing great job and so forth. And if you have such a list, and you could very easily prepare for that, you could just scroll through that, identify some clear achievements you did at work, and then go with this list to your manager. And at least you have some backup that like, okay, look, throughout this year, I did this, and this with my team. Together, we achieved this, and this. I recognize this. This is important for a company. So here we go. And normally people in these situations, when they are reached by a manager to check out or so, they are vulnerable at that point, because again, you are in a stressy situation. The brain is blocked to identify in the past these points, and you don't have any documentation about this. So you are like, I'm like, okay, what we did, something good we did, but what exactly I don't remember anymore,
Excellent example.
With these situations.
It's a brilliant example.
Yeah. So I think, it's useful. For me, I looked at my work in Erste for the last 7 years and tried to identify beyond shipping the software that we did with the teams throughout all these years, also what I did beyond. And I identified many significant improvements and significant impacts that I did for a product or for the team. And this made me shocked also, that I don't put attention on that throughout the years. And only when I try to recap, look at past conversations, look at some documentations in Jira, and so look at my notes from different sources, I recap them, I remember them, recall them, and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. This is crazy beneficial for me, for a company, for a team that we did throughout the years. I have an excellent record, I would say. So it just put me in a mental situation that I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling that I'm doing the right thing for this world at work. We already looked at how useful it could be just to document certain things, and I believe, for many situations, to get you out of burnout quicker, to help you prevent being vulnerable in several situations when you have to answer, to defend yourself in certain way. Literally, to ask for a rise with certain arguments.
Totally,
But important is to always think about this documentation from a perspective of where it is useful, because I know that in many top IT companies, many people, they know that they every year has a review meeting with their manager, and the review meeting shall prove that they create impact. Okay, and therefore they build all their work explicitly to make sure this report that they prepare throughout the year shines. Okay. Well, I cannot say it's wrong. For certain people, they want it because they want to earn more money, and this is like a way to do it. But I'm not sure that this fulfills your own purpose, why you are doing the job there. That's the only thing that I want to kind of criticize on that. If you are coming there just to earn money, that's the right way to do, probably. If you are coming there, where I believe most people in these companies do, they come there because they want to really create impact and create good things for the world. They have availability because their software is used by the world. And then I'm not sure you need to drive your work based on the report.
Yeah. Lots of good points. I think nice things to unpack in what you said, because different things from different perspectives. This situation of the review, I think, is a very good example for work culture or for work-related topics. So, like we talked about history, and then you say, okay, we do this once a year. It's such a long period of time, right? Like some people stay maybe a year or two in a job. They switch, especially early on in their careers. They might want to see different areas or different companies. And doing that only once a year, I think, is such a long time span for all the events that happened. You do that documentation, might be in any tool you use personally, or the working tools, tracking, Jira, tickets, whatever it is. And I think what we really try or experiment with for a while is doing monthly reviews instead of a yearly one, which I think really helps a lot. I'm trying, not managing every time. It's on 10 people, so it's a bit of time, but I think it's very well invested time. Not just taking this template of a yearly review and saying, okay, every person, you have to reach those points and then you become a senior, or you have to reach those milestones, then become a raise, or you get a raise. And that I found really interesting for both sides, because you get to know the team better when you do this on a monthly basis. Maybe you have 10 minutes where you talk about private stuff, just, a conversation. How is the person doing? Oh, they're having a family, or they've just been sick for a while. Why have they been sick? And you get into those topics. Like, okay, last month I've not been so well because maybe this project has been tough on me, or personally this or that topic came up. And I found it to be so much better for the progress of the person doing it on a monthly basis, because the tip is I just ask them to write down things on Post-its. Easy, whenever they're in a moment where they feel like, oh, this is really tough, or this is really good, just take a quick note in your notebook or notes app, whatever, And then within the month, it's a way shorter time span where we can discuss those topics and those events. And then they accumulate over the year. But then we don't do the yearly review anymore because I don't have to do that anymore. And picking up what happened like the last few months and how things evolve so rapidly, I think it's really up to the company or the situation to discuss how you can do those reviews. Let's take two like pretty extreme differences, okay, just to kind of set the limit of the border. So you have a company that's pretty big, lots of employees. They have pretty good revenue, but it's kind of stagnating because of the situation on the markets. Like I mentioned, they go up and down. Quite some companies make good revenue, like Volkswagen did, for example, the last years, but now they lose some. Mm-hmm. Okay. On the other hand, you have companies like OnlyFans, not because of the topic, but I just wrote an article like a few days ago, and that team is very small. I don't know the actual number, but the revenue per year is in double-digit millions per employee. So very extreme situations, right? But if you look at that OnlyFans situation, talking about impact that you have financially and also from the value, I think is crazy. Like you can really discuss those things in the team. You can bring up those points. Last month we managed to do this. We shipped a new feature. I was very invested in this feature. I think it's great that the people who produce the content, they are in charge of it. We don't really take a big share of what they do, whatever it is, But, that I think you can really pin those points and discuss. And on the other hand, I think also if you're in a bigger company, I think it's really nice what he said, because that impact is different to each person, right? Like some person is not so much into finances, very happy that they can have a very steady income for years to come. That's great. Gives them a lot of stability. But for them, it's much more important. They are in a senior position or more mature where they want to make impact, human impact or value impact for their company and the work they do every day. And yeah. Long story short, I think that's quite nice to break this down, because on the one side, things happen so fast, and then also reducing the time frame to review things together at home, but also at work, I think is super helpful. Yeah.
What you mentioned, one thing really resonates with me is you, together with your employee, define what will be their next step to achieve to become a senior or become to the next level in a certain way, get more money as a salary or whatever the gratification is. Important for me is you together define this definition of done, this milestone. Yes. And this is a win-to-win for both sides, because look, for an employee side, the partner now knows, okay, I want that rise, I want that role, I want that something. Yeah. So I know exactly what it takes to go there. I need to achieve this, complete this, do this, and so forth. We arrange this with my manager together. We align with us, and now we will together try to reach that point.
Awesome.
So we will review it every month or so until we reach. If we have some impediments on the way, then we try to solve them. So my manager helps me to get to the next stage where I want, because we discuss together the goals. From the other side, the perspective of the manager, business owner, the employer, it's very beneficial because you can incorporate in this agreement that you make what is the definition of done for a next stage for that person, what you want from that person to get.
Right.
You want that this project to be completed because your company will get a lot of revenue from that, or the client will bring another project afterwards, and so forth. So you have now an impact to actually help the employee to go up and reach his goal, his gratification, by having incorporated your goals from that person into your into your agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. I would love that managers and bigger companies do this. I mean, it would be beautiful for everybody. Otherwise, I'm like aware that people always need to convince somebody, to negotiate somebody at some point that they want that role, they want that certain gratification after several period of time. But if we would work together on that, and the business would recognize that actually we could get a lot of benefit from that and give this pie, this gratification to the person, if the person does to this and this and this for our business, that would be brilliant, like partnership.
Nice.
Why not everybody is doing this? I mean,
yeah,
it's an investment from the business, because you have to think, you have to now, you just not just employ somebody and let it work autonomously completely. You just have to plan now. What do you want from that employee? Like, okay, you want this feature to be shipped. You want this project to be complete. You want this amount of sales to be done throughout the period. You now have to see, okay, what is my goal? And part of this goal will be to give gratification to that other person, the one that that person wants.
I really totally agree. I mean, both sides. Of course, it's quite an investment. Okay, I can say this a bit more easily because our company is not big. So we have 12 people in the team. That's manageable. I've also been in companies with 80 or 100 people. You're on a team that's probably even bigger. I know it takes time, but like you just really made the point, it's so beneficial to both sides. I mean, some people have been maybe in this situation, like, your senior is coming up, or you're getting a promotion, but then you don't know what's the points, like, okay, you have to be in the company for 10 years. Well, I'm here for 4 years. Okay, so I'm going to have to wait another 6 years. I don't know if I'm going to stay for another 6 years in this company. Maybe I like the people, but 6 years, come on, Or somebody has to go to retirement for me to move up in the ladder of the company. That's the culture. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like, I talked to some friends and they were like, oh, it's really frustrating. I'm here and like, I talked to my manager. They want to give me a raise. They want to make me a manager of the team. But I don't really have the points, like you mentioned. What does it mean transparently for me to manage this? I check all the boxes. I've done all this. I managed the project. I delivered the deliverables. But I'm not there for 10 years. Yeah, well, okay, I can't make this faster. So you get into the situations where you officially think you're already doing the senior work, but you don't get the money and you don't get the title. So the system, I think, is not working anymore. And investing it for both sides is so much more beneficial because you see for every person it's a different value. So some people might want to earn more money, yes. But there's other people in the team who say, for me, really luxury would be to have a 4-day work week or 3 days. I don't care so much about the raise. Maybe we even manage that I can keep my current salary from 5 days for 4 days. And well, then the manager has to sit down. There's different sides he has to discuss with. Management says, okay, well, we have our salary structure. How do we manage this? They will have conversations about this in the team. It's definitely more effort, but I think being able to break it down, I think 10 people in a team size is already pretty good to manage this within the team, to discuss these topics. But yeah, I mean, definitely work to do, but I think it pays off.
Look, back to our topic of today's episode. Now with this setup where manager and employee, they partner together to reach a certain goal for both sides. They document the achievements together now. Okay. They have this list both, and they can review it every time they meet next time. What has been completed, where we struggled, and so forth. And feel like, okay, we're actually going farther. There were 10 points planned for next few months, and we are already on 6, That's great. We are doing great, This is the same thing that I mentioned at the beginning, but now you are together. And, actually, when all these 10 points will be reached at that milestone, that the benefits will be for everybody, because we initially put the benefits for everybody into this definition of done, everybody will win. So that, I think this is magnificent. This is super useful.
Nice.
I believe that this is investment. And I would just, love that many companies, businesses, and managers would be able to work and support their people like that.
Totally agree.
So if you are doing this for 10 or how many people you have, this is fantastic. I think you set up a culture that they will miss if they leave your company, because believe me, very few do this.
Yeah, nice to hear that. Thanks. I mean, it's really, I'm happy to share this. It's free for others to take. And like you said, it's really beneficial for both sides. Also retention, keep people in the team. Sometimes maybe that culture doesn't resonate with people. They want to earn more money. Okay, maybe it's not the right place. But others are very happy. They come from a very high performance agency and they're like, no, this is not my world. I'm not happy here. I can work 4 days a week, or I can be flexible. I can go to the doctor whenever I want to. I have that freedom.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you need to figure out with the team. Yeah.
I think one important, interesting thing to mention is the following. Look, people now want to grow fast. They want to get roles, bigger roles faster, more money faster. And that's understandable. From other perspective here, when you deal with these people, then you have to be very honest, okay? Like if somebody wants a significant rise or a significant management position or whatever position counts as high, then you should be honest, like we can afford that in this setup, or we cannot afford that in such a short period of time. Because we are a small company, we don't have so much revenue to pay you so much, let's say, in 2 years, if you even complete this. So there we shall be honest, like what can we achieve really and what we cannot.
Totally.
You know? So that people don't any time afterwards blame that actually we want a rise, we want a new role in a few years working there, but the company doesn't allow us, and why? And so the company, the business shall explain that maybe it's not possible in the setup we have now. And this will be fair to exchange this information, because ambitions of people are often high, and maybe businesses, especially if you are in startup maybe environment, they cannot fulfill these ambitions. You know? So these discussions, these negotiations, I think just have to be transparent from that perspective too.
It's a very important point. I think you definitely part of the discussion, because if you come in with those expectations, and maybe it's still your first job, or you're very early on, you're very ambitious, good grades in university, or you just finished your whatever training you've done, and you don't have that relation to how this works, because maybe you've never run a company, but you see those numbers on the articles, some people earn that much, that's your expectation, right? We maybe hit those too when we started like some years ago. But the more experience you gather, and I think this is like also in this book that we discussed with the psychology of money is so great, because if you earn a lot of money, you can also spend it very quickly if you don't know how to manage. And it's the same with the company. I could, of course, give that salary to the person, but it doesn't make any sense from my side, and maybe not even for the person, because they don't know how to spend that money well. So I think really, if you're on the employee side, asking yourself, why are you so ambitious? Like, what's the reason why you want to earn so much? Whatever the reason is, like, think about it for yourself. Because if you're 25 and you earn, let's say, very close to 100K, depending on where you live, in San Francisco or another city, that's not even a lot. It's very standard salary. In Europe, it's quite a lot of money. But what are you going to do with this? Like, is this really going to make you happy if you can rent a cool car and then spend all the money on going to the restaurant? Or are you going to invest it somewhere? So I think having those discussions very openly is very good, like beneficial to both sides. Yeah.
Financial literacy is another topic we could cover at some point.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. So great discussion today. Thank you very much, Marius. Was a very interesting point. I will try to reflect in my head and fine-tune my approach to this, documenting small wins and using them in certain situations.
Likewise. Thanks a lot. I think a lot of good points you made for both perspectives, and also including things like definition of time, which we kind of know from coding, right? But I think it's nice to put them into also other processes. That's great. I'm going to use that as well.